Look at that tree tunnel. It's a tree tunnel again. Boy, there's lots of tree tunnels out here. I'm in Virginia, so I can't say in Tennessee. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, check it out. Big old quilt pattern and a hook off of a train wreck. That's awesome. All right, so here we go. We're gonna head this way. That lady said that's a quilt pattern on that barn, and there's actually something called the Quilt Trail that you could register for, and I'll have to check it out on Google. And she said that hers is not registered because she likes to do what she wants to do and not what they ask you to do. So she had that hot pink and that pattern. That's pretty neat. Woohoo! Doo-doo. Valerie, Valerie, she likes to go straight, not too much turning. Yeehaw! But it's a lot quieter, not just from the exhaust, but that big old windshield out front. There's no, if you noticed, I've had no wind whistles today. When I was talking to that lady about that quilt pattern, that big old hook that was in front of it, said it was from a train wreck. There's train tracks around here somewhere, and the train derailed, and they came to come put it back on. They just left the hook. And her granddad, this is back before she was living here, she said that they ended up taking that. Hello, doggy. They ended up they didn't come back for the hook, so he took it with his bulldozer and hung it up on his barn. There's another doggy. So, pretty interesting. Pretty neat stuff, pulling over and just talking to strangers. Interesting stories they can tell you. Look at that, pretty corn. Yep, wishing I had the dual sport. She told me I can drive up over the mountain. I'll have to find out where that road is and mark it. Come back when the fall colors are here in force. Right now they're not here in force. They're just kind of showing up. Oh, those are not leaves. That's a barn. I saw the dead tree and I thought that was red leaves, but no. Ooh, pretty lake or river. Right here beside the river, and I think I've been here before. That's what I think it is. We'll find out when I get up ahead. Oh, there's a nice, man, there's all kinds of offshoots right here. Out riding the cruiser around. Now, I'm looking for stuff and seeing all kinds of things. It just kind of, boy, it's just a beautiful day. All kinds of offshoots I can take. If I had my dual sport, and I don't have my dual sport today, I left the Brabant at home because I'm taking Valerie out for some exercise. She's a big girl. She needs to come out and run. So, taking Valerie from the father-in-law's house, and boy, look at this pretty place. This is just pretty places out here. But I want to tell you about prom. Prom when I was young. I talked about asking girls out creatively. Well, I want to tell you about asking the girl out. When I went to prom as a senior, I took Miss Teen Nevada Uh-oh. To prom. And she was pretty. She was a pretty lady. I think I talked about her in one of my other episodes, but one of my other vlogs. But anyway, the reason I knew her, in Dogman Ride 1 up in Canada, he guessed my little tune that I always do, the do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And it just always coming out of my head sometimes, and so he guessed what it was, and so I guess I'm going to come out and let you all know what that was. That was the theme, well, not a theme, but a song from The Sound of Music. And the reason it's always stuck in my head, I guess, is because I was in The Sound of Music as a kid, as a teenager, as a senior in high school. I was one of the children, one of the Von Trapps. Alright, so normally when I was in theater, I was the backstage guy. I'm the one who did the sound and the lights. And I never wanted to be on stage. But the theater teacher talked me into it. And for this Sound of Music production, I ended up making like a kind of a spiral staircase. It wasn't really spiral, but you know, it was like turned and curved. Because when the girl comes out when the kids come out and do that song, then we had to use that staircase. So, but they cast me as Kurt. I was one of the youngest Von Trapps, 17, 18 years old, and playing like a 10-year-old. And for those of you that have watched my vlogs, know that that's not a far stretch. That's a pretty easy thing to do. It makes sense, doesn't it? Well, anyway, boy, I'm on the wrong bike today, guys. I didn't really know where I would be headed into. I'm trying to get to a natural tunnel, and wishing I had the dual sport. But anyway, so going to prom, Miss T Nevada was the oldest Von Trapp girl, the one that sings "I am 16, you are 17, blah 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 blah." And she and I were in that play together, and actually we knew each other from church as well. We weren't in the same congregations, but we would go to different large group activities together, and so she and I, we knew each other, but we weren't really like really close or anything. So when it came time for prom, I asked her to prom, and of course I did it creatively. What I did is whoa, there's a deer. Hello, little deer. Hello, big deer. And there's another one. Come on across. I'll let you cross. Go ahead. Atta girl. So, as we're going along, during the musical stuff, and that was, I can't remember when it was. It was probably in the fall or in the winter, and then the prom's in the spring. And so I like to work with my hands. I always have. I took wood shop, and I was like the only clean-cut guy in that wood shop and auto shop classes. Everybody else was the rocker dudes, like listening to Metallica, Metallica, and all that other stuff. Well, that was not my scene. If you watch my other vlog, I talked about that earlier. But they, hello, Mr. 4x4 pickup trucks. So when I ended up asking this girl out to prom, I got a big piece of wood and I cut it into a shape of a heart. We're talking like a big heart, like this big. It was huge. And then I drilled holes in it and I put Christmas lights up through it that were red, and then I sanded it down, and then I had my friend Dave, was a really good artist, and I had him draw some stuff, and I ended up writing this little poem to ask her out and stuff, and went and I put it in her room and asked her out that way. And it was pretty cool. She accepted, and she asked her to be back creatively. And actually after prom, she actually took me out on a thank you date, which was way cool. And the way she asked me out was with a coupon, and I think I've got a picture of it. So I took her coupon, and we went out, and we always went out on group dates, and she did too. And when she asked me out, but it was pretty neat. We had a lot of fun. You know, the dance was only part of it. When we asked girls out to like these big things, we really went all out. We picked them up at like 6 in the morning, and we took them to the lake, and we went water skiing, and then after that we went and had a picnic and lunch in a park and played some games in the park, and then we went and played volleyball, which is volleyball in a racquetball court, so there's no outs. You know, the ball bounces all over the place. The only time that, you know, when it hits the ground is when you get a point. That's a lot of fun. And then we took them home and let them get ready for the dance. We gave them like 4 or 5 hours to get ready for the dance. And then we picked them up, and we took them to somebody's house. We went to Tyler's house this time, and had our little brothers and sisters serve us as the waiters and waitresses. And then when I picked her up, I was driving my dad's 65 Impala. Check this picture out. There's a great picture, great car, a lot of fun. Had a 283 with a power glide transmission. But that's what I took her to prom in. And then not only did I do that, I made a tape. Whoa, bad road. I made a mixtape, you know. You gotta have set the mood and stuff. But it wasn't like what you're thinking. Because we were driving a 1960s Chevrolet Impala, I made a mixtape of old 60s music. And that car didn't have a tape player, so I brought a ghetto box and put it on the thing, and you know, that was fun. And then I gave her the tape at the end of the day. But after dinner, then we went to the dance, and we got our pictures taken at the dance, and we had some fun at the dance. And then after that, we went and changed clothes, and we took them to Black Rock Mountain, I think is what it's called. It's on top of Las Vegas, and we could see. We had to drive, and we took a generator and a TV and a VCR. This was long before the days of little tiny things. So the TV that we're taking is like 200 pounds, you know. Had it in the back of my parents' van, and we ended up taking it over on the top of this mountain so we could see Las Vegas. And then we watched a movie. And then we got them home at like 2 or 3 in the morning. It was fun. Good big day, you know. Picked them up at 6 in the morning and got them home at 2 or 3 in the morning after they in between. A lot of fun, a lot of healthy, good stuff. You know, there was none of this getting together and doing bad stuff. You know, we weren't that type of kids. We had fun, and it was natural fun. Oh, look at this. There's a nice little yard sale out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, maybe it's not a yard sale. Maybe that's just their yard. It looks like it was just their yard. Not a yard sale. Oh, that was a big bump. Like I said, I need the Brahman. Soak up the bumps. I have no idea where I'm headed. Look at that old house. Man, that's cool. All these old places that people have renovated, and it still looks like an 1800s house on the outside. Look at that stained glass old church. 1776! Holy moly, that church was 1776. That is crazy. That's back in, holy moly. I was always thinking 1800s. That's 1700s. Wow. And this is an oddity. Well, maybe not an oddity, but this is something that you see in Tennessee a lot. You got this mailbox, and you're like, why in the world is there these fence posts and all this pipe and then another fence post? Why in the world would somebody do that? Well, those of you that were stupid when you were young probably know exactly what that's for. That's to protect it from anybody who comes along with a baseball bat. Bing! And unfortunately, you know, kids are stupid. Okay, I gotta turn this off because I'm just a rambling on with nothingness. Rambling, ramble, ramble. Oh, there's a pretty river again. Ramble on, ramble on, ramble on.